Like I knocked the dude out, and I looked over and I saw Holly Holm. I was like, ah, damn, I just did your move, you know. I saw like Holly Holm and Sergio Pettis and all that, and so it was super cool.
From MMA Island. Christopher de Santiago with MMA Island. Today I'm talking to top prospect Reese Watkins after his brutal head kick knockout at APFC last month. Baby Goose, how's it going today, man?
It's going good, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. The fans loved your knockout. I mean, spectacular fashion. On UFC Fight Pass, I think it got like nearly 10,000 likes, over 1,000 sends. How happy are you with this performance, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the performance. It was an emphatic knockout. So, I hope the right people saw it, and just to end the year on like that high note is a super good feeling.
hmm Your birthday was the day after. How did you guys celebrate the win and your birthday?
We went to Waffle House, man. There's a Waffle House in Albuquerque, so we just went to Waffle House. My parents came out to the fight, so it's my coaches and then my parents. We just went to Waffle House, and then yeah, they left, and then we just went to a bar at the casino, and just chilled and just hung out.
Awesome. Are you a pancake or a waffle guy?
No, waffle. I mean, I
Nice, man.
like pancakes, but nah, give me a waffle all day.
I gotta ask, what was it like sharing a card with Gable Steveson and Wing C at Anthony Pettis FC, man? What was that like?
I didn't see much of Gable. I think he had like his own locker room or something. But I didn't see much of him. I saw him around a couple times, but I saw the Wing C dude a bunch, and it's not an act. He's like that all the time. So it was I saw him like when I was waiting to weigh in and such, and I was like like a cut weight move, so it was kind of annoying. But once I was like fully hydrated, it's kind of funny, So and being there, the crowd, with Anthony Pettis is super cool. Like I knocked the dude out, and I looked over and I saw Holly Holm, and I was like, ah, damn, I just did your move, I saw like Holly Holm and Sergio Pettis and all that, and so it was super cool.
Awesome. Did you get to talk to any of them post fight?
I talked to Demetrius Johnson a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was super cool. And I talked to Anthony Pettis a little bit, so it was super cool getting to meet them.
I gotta ask you, Reese, coming off those last two fights, I guess what was your mentality coming into this one? And I guess did you have any doubts coming into this fight?
Honestly, my mentality was just go out there, have a good time, and don't try to rush it. Just go out there. I fight because I like it. I fight to have fun. I don't fight for money or fame or whatever. So just get back to that. Just fighting for the love of the game. And then I definitely had doubts, but even as I was stepping in the cage, I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, as they're locking the door, I was like, dude, I should just do something else in life. So it is definitely doubts in my mind, but I was like, like, to hell with it. I'm here now. It can't get any worse. So it's time to lock in.
I related to that one Instagram post that you did where you say that like you kind of spaz out sometimes where you kind of space out and like it's like fuck, like I
Yeah.
this should have went my way. I feel I relate to that a lot when it comes to like relationships and friendships and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I gotta ask, did you grow closer to God, I guess, in the lead up to this one?
Yeah, for sure. It was a tough year. I had some stuff happen in my personal life. And the two fights I dropped. It was definitely a hard year. But with it's just turn to God. My relationship with Jesus, it helped a lot. Maki, he has a Bible study that he leads, so it's just been very impactful in my life. And then my friend, my boy Nathan Rivera, he's like a role model for me. So a lot of times in life, I try to be more like Nathan. Even though we know each other a long time, but he's a little older than me, so it's really like I'm trying to get like Nathan in life. So definitely, I would say they helped me turn towards Jesus and just got to give some certain things up and just trust God. Shouldn't trust His plan.
That's awesome, man. Amen to that. Can you tell me about the first time that you met Nathan Rivera? I guess what was your first impression of him?
Dude, it was so long ago. We used to go to a gym called X3 Sports in Georgia, and there were like multiple locations. And every Friday and Sunday, one location would have like open sparring. So all these guys from all these different gyms from Georgia would come to this gym, and we would be sparring. And that was when I first met him. Um, and I was 16 or 17 at the time. And yeah, I honestly can't remember the exact first time I met him, but I know this was around when I started getting into MMA heavy, around when Connor was like still big. And I know like we both obviously were like dumbasses, bro. Like dumbest, like just to get into the sport. Both like loved Connor, like super casual fan, right? And so we were both talking about Connor or whatever. So I'm pretty sure that was what started it. And then we ended up being on the same card for, I think it was his second MMA fight, and it was my first MMA fight. So it was me, him, and then his boy named a friend named Connor. We were all on the same card at the same time. So yeah, that was like the first time when we started getting like super close.
What's it like to see him ranked number two in the world now in the BKFC featherweight division? He's 5-0 in BKFC. How happy are you for him and what he's doing with his career?
Yeah, dude, I'm so happy. I feel like it's a perfect sport for him. He's such a good boxer. He's so explosive. And for such a violent sport, he doesn't really get hit a lot. I think he's been hit clean, like a handful of times. If you can count on like one or two hands, maybe the times he's been hit clean in like five BKFC fights, I think, five or six. And I'm just so happy for him. He's down doing like good things, big things. He's filming a show for BKFC right now. Hopefully he gets a title shot soon or number one contender fight. He has fight news coming up. So just seeing that, what's happening in his career. He just got married. He got a house. It's crazy, dude. It's like, dude, this is really like he's grown, man. He's a grown ass man now. He's doing like real shit. So I'm super excited for him. Super happy for him.
Awesome, Reese. Great to hear, man. And I guess after this highlight reel knockout, what's next for you, Reese? What do you want in the big 2026?
I just want to get reps. I told my manager, I told Lance, I just want reps, man. I just want reps. So, whether it's back at Fury or back for APFC, that doesn't really matter where, Jesus. Hopefully fight in January or February, but just reps. Just want to get reps in cage time and just get as much experience as possible.
What was the decision to go down to the welterweight division after your loss to Christopher Edwards? What was that decision like for you?
85 was really big, and it's a reach thing as well. I have a short reach, 72 inches, and that's very short for middleweight, and it's kind of short for welterweight too, but it's criminally short for middleweight. And like dude, a day after Wednesday after the fight, like last week, I was like 198 after training. Um, and like I'm a little bigger now because Thanksgiving I took like a couple days, had to deal with some stuff. But even now I'm like 205, and I'm hovering in between like 20, 204 and like 201 ish. When I'm like training, and it's just like, dude, I just middleweights, like Sean's like 230 pounds right now, bro. Like, I remember how you came to the gym, Ohio, he was like 237, so middleweights are just big, dude. And, this last fight was at middleweight, but that guy, most of his career was at welterweight. I think he just didn't want to cut the weight anymore. But it was definitely like, I'm too small for middleweight, so it's time to just cut the weight and go down to welterweight.
Yeah, I hate that the 15-pound weight difference between welterweight and middleweight because I feel like for a lot of fighters like you would probably like to fight around like at 175, 180, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like this last fight, I went into fight week at 198, I think, or 190. I think I went into fight week at 197. And by the time I finished water loading and all that for the day before weigh-ins, I was 193 or 192. And I was going to do half of it, like cut half the weight that night and the rest of it that morning. But all I did was like an hour in a sauna suit and then or 30 minutes in a sauna suit and 30 minutes, tub and towels. And I cut all the weight. I was on weight for like 13, 14 hours, bro. Um
Wow.
I can cut weight pretty well. So I cut like 7, 8 pounds in about 60 minutes. So for that fight, I was thinking about like, dude, if this guy pulls out or whatever and like a 55er wants to fight, I could have made 175 for that fight easy. Maybe not 170, but I definitely could have made it 175. So I was definitely like, damn, I wish there was a 75 or the weight classes were 75 or 80 instead of 170 and 185.
Awesome, man. I gotta ask you about your Spotify Wrapped. I got it here. You have Kanye West at number one, Michael Jackson number two, Linkin Park, Slipknot, Marvin Sapp. I guess where do you get your music taste from, Reese?
A lot of it's from my parents. I remember being like 7 years old and working out with my dad, and he played like Ti and Kanye, in the basement while we were working out. And then I love Michael Jackson. A lot of it, I'll say, the biggest influence on my music taste is my parents. Definitely my dad probably. Just like Michael Jackson, Kanye, and all that is definitely things to listen to as a kid growing up. And then I would say the rest of it, I just kind of find. Like they didn't. Our parents definitely didn't listen to no Linkin Park. Let's say my first time hearing Linkin Park, like knowing about Linkin Park was Transformers. Like when I was like 7, 8.
Yes, yeah, I
And
remember too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I love Transformers now, so it's like, oh yeah, it's like I fuck with Linkin Park heavy. So definitely older Linkin Park. Some of the newer stuff is good too. With the girl, I forget her name, but yeah, I like Linkin Park in general. But I'll definitely say my parents, and then just I don't know, just media. I would say is where I get my music taste from.
Was Megan Fox in Transformers your like childhood crush? Because I feel like for like a lot of younger men that is their kind of
Oh
first
man,
childhood.
nah, for me that wasn't it, bro. I never got the hype. I mean, she's cool, but I never got the hype. I think for me it would be what was that Disney Channel show with Ariana Grande and that other girl? The damn, was it Victorious or whatever? But
Yeah, Victorious and then Sam and Cat, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. The girl that plays Sam or whatever. I feel like that
Jeanette
was.
McCurdy?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Her. That was.
Nice,
I was
man.
like, that's what comes to. But yeah, no, it wasn't Megan Fox, but I do remember being because I was 6, I think, when Transformers came out, and I remember my dad taking me to go see it in theaters, and it just like changed my life. Where I was like, oh yeah, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life, and it's still the coolest shit ever. But I don't care. I'm still a big kid. So yeah, it was definitely a life changing moment seeing Transformers.
Nice, nice. What shows have you been watching recently?
I've been watching a ton of shows. I've been playing a lot of games in my free time lately, and then although the last show I did watch, I watched I damn the Jackal on I think it's a British show about an assassin. I think it's a remake or I think it was a movie, older movie back in the day, and then they made it into a show. It's about an assassin, lives like a double life. So I really enjoyed that show. But I've been playing a lot of like, Battlefield 6 and Helldivers, so that's what
Any
most.
Marvel Rivals?
Dude, I stopped, bro. When the game first came out, the first season, I sunk like 100, like 30 hours in like a couple weeks, where I was like hooked. And then it was pissing me off. It was like affecting my everyday life because I was getting so pissed off. I was like, grinding and trying to play ranked. So I'm stopped, bro. I'm clean. I withdrew. But they keep releasing these cool new characters. And it's calling to me. But I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like a drug. So I'll get so into it. And like, dude, if I touch ranked again, it's gonna ruin my life because I get so competitive. It'll be 1 a.m. and my roommate will hear me like screaming. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? So I have to distance myself from it because I'll definitely get hooked and I'll be cooked.
Most definitely, man. And I guess circling back to MMA, who's your favorite UFC fighter to watch right now?
Right now, Rafael Fiziev and Petr Yan. I'll say
Ooh,
those are my favorite. Um, yeah, those two for sure. Dustin retired, super sad, but Those two, Petr Yan and Fizzy, are my favorite active fighters right now.
What chance do you give Petr Yan to beat Merab in the rematch this weekend at UFC 323?
Even though he's one of my favorite fighters, I don't think it's happening. I think Merab's style. I thought if Corey Sandhagen didn't beat him, I was like, no one's beating him because I thought Corey Sandhagen had styles make fights, and I thought his style was the best. So I just don't see. I hope I'm wrong. Because Merab's cool. Just I love Petr Yan. So if I had to put a number on paper, I'll say I give him like a 30 or 40% chance. Like not unlikely, but it's not impossible. But I don't think it's likely.
Yeah, and I gotta ask too about Joshua Van. If he becomes champion, he would be the first champion from the 2000s our era. Do you think he gets his hand raised against a guy like Pantoja?
Dude, yeah, I'm sticking with it. I know on paper it's Pantoja, but I don't care. I'm gonna be delusional. I feel like he can do it, man. His boxing is so crisp, and he's such a crisp like a crispy style to watch. Fuck it, man. I'm picking Van. Van third round TKO. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
rocking with.
Honestly, I feel like with his takedown defense, or like I feel like I could smell an upset here. It kind of reminds me of like Holloway, although kind of new gen, kind of taking over the old gen. But I feel like his
Yeah,
takedown defense and he has like the highest significant strikes landed per minute. So I feel like
yeah,
he
dude.
should be able to
Yeah,
squeeze it out, right?
he's nasty. He's super good. So I'm hoping he pulls it off.
For sure, man. Well, I think that's all the questions I had for you today, Reese. I just want to thank you again for the time, man. Did you have anything to say to the Baby Goose fans watching, man?
I just want to thank you guys for all the support. Without you guys, there would be no sport without you guys, and just without y'all, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So just thank you guys for tuning in.